79 days left in the year. Good morning, MD, guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com, via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. On Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. The Sweet 16 times 2 takes up today, and it's also opening day around the major leagues. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beige. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good.
The University of Denver has a study that says sharing laughs and playing together were the main factors separating happily married couples from unhappy ones. You believe that that laughter can make for happy couples?
Isn't that just logical?
Seems pretty logical. When
Right?
couples laugh together, their bodies secrete endorphins that make them feel good about the person they're having fun with.
That makes sense to me.
And as a result, the opposite is also true in the other direction, right? You
Yeah.
go, you're a grump. Nobody wants to be there. So let's laugh a little today. It's been hard to
Right.
laugh so far the last half hour, but I'll get better. He is a 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's a 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley. And the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
In the words of the great David Lee Roth, I don't feel tardy. So that's my favorite line in the Hot for Teacher video from Van Halen, where David Lee Roth says, I don't feel tardy, but we are tardy. I'll tell you, it's we've been broadband issues this morning again, but I think it's important. I try to be as open and honest as I can. I have professionally the last couple of weeks have been some of the most frustrating in my 30 years of media ownership, and so hopefully things are improving technically in that regard. But it's been
fun.
It is zero fun. So yeah, so you wanted to be in the media. Okay. Sam, we missed you yesterday. It's good to have you back. It's
Thank
good
you.
to see your Reds hat today. As you know, the Reds are my National League team. They just happen to like my American League team a little bit better than my National League team. The Reds going to win the pennant this year?
No,
No, they are not.
no. I
You're
mean,
going to go ahead and call it.
yeah, no. I mean, the Dodgers are winning the pennant.
Okay. Who's going to win the World Series?
The Dodgers.
The Dodgers. Okay. Are you going to take in, how many Reds games do you think you will see in person this season?
I don't know yet.
Yeah. Haven't decided?
Yeah, I wish it was a little bit closer because they announced yesterday that for every Tuesday game this year, you can get I think they have 12 or however many it is, and it's like $50 to get all.
The 3-2-1, and then
Yeah,
they do the 3-2-1s on Tuesdays.
Yeah, and the 3-2-1 is it's what $3 apple juices, $2 hot dogs, $1 ice creams, or something like that.
I think that's exactly right. Yeah, they're even doing that when the Yankees come to town in late June. So I'm going to see the Tuesday game 2 and game 3 of that series. A little bit surprised that they're all 3 in the evening. Typically on that Wednesday game, they'll make it.
They'll do a getaway day. Yeah,
they'll play it early, but no, all 3 are in the evening. So looking forward to it later in the season. Better get to it since we're running behind today. Sunny and warmer to end the work week. We're going to see rounds of showers and thunderstorms are still in Sunday's forecast. The greatest rain chance will be Sunday evening and Sunday night. Keeping an eye on a few storms that could bring more rain to the region next week. March March goes in like a lamb, out like a lion, and that's kind of what we've experienced. And then we're just turning into the next month where we say April showers bring May flowers. Well, we've had our fair share of April showers in the month of March. We will see afternoon clouds today. In fact, seeing some of that cloud cover rolling in from the west. at this hour if you're with us live. A high of 60. We'll see increasing clouds tonight, a 20% chance of rain, low of 45. Morning clouds, afternoon sun, breezy for your Saturday. And, well, that says Saturday. That's got to be Friday that they're looking at. So we'll see high of 81 coming up for your Friday, and then leveling back into the mid-70s for Saturday and Sunday. The Atlantic did go ahead and release the full signal chat that showed plans for attacks on the Houthis that the nation's been talking about for the better part of the week. So the only reason, the reason that I mentioned it again today is that I need to retract what the credit that I gave to the Atlantic for not showing the whole thing, of all the things that could have been military compromise, but I guess they got goaded into doing it, or it's been such an issue that they said, well, here, we'll just show you what was said. And I guess now it's out there if you've got an Atlantic subscription, or subscription to the Atlantic. The President Trump and the Trump administration has placed a 25% tariff on imported automobiles. Now, these are completely assembled automobiles, and they say it will raise $100 billion in tax revenues, but it will also then incentivize automotive manufacturers and assembly to be domesticated into the country. And so I don't know what I don't know what the workaround is. If you were to bring an 80% assembled automobile across the border and finalize the assembly in the United States, I don't know if that circumvents the tariff or not. But ongoing move to try and spur the economy and job growth, et cetera, in the country, whether it's going to work or not, yet to be seen. Some law enforcement agencies off to our west are looking for a fugitive considered armed and dangerous. The Hopkins County Sheriff's Office is looking for help in finding 45-year-old Jonathan Ruby of White Plains, that's down in Hopkins County, not the other famous White Plains, who fled on foot after being involved in a physical altercation following a traffic accident. You can read more about that at K105.com. Unlikely that our area is impacted, but you just never know about those types of things. Governor Beshear signed 3 more bills, vetoed 9 additional bills yesterday, and then allowed, I think, about a few more through without signature, becoming law. Legislature back into session. Tomorrow, Friday, we'll see how many, if not all, of those vetoes they will override. Dollar Tree is selling Family Dollar to a pair of private equity firms for $1 billion after about 10 years of trying to make the bargain chain fit. I didn't know they did that, so it makes sense why you see both brands in some locations, including one locally that we have. Yeah. But I did not know that Dollar Tree had acquired Dollar General, or had acquired Family Dollar in a bidding war with Dollar General. And so that kind of drove up the price. They bought it for $8 billion 10 years ago, and they just haven't been able to kind of make it work. So they had announced, Family Dollar had already announced they were closing a bunch of stores. And so we've seen one store, like Litchfield used to have one and does not now, correct?
Have which one?
The Family Dollar.
Correct. It used to have one in Litchfield.
That's right.
It is closed.
Yeah,
yes, there is a Dollar Tree there.
Correct.
I hope the one closer to us, I hope Dollar Tree absorbs the other half that is Family Dollar.
Yeah, it's likely.
That's my.
We were, we had to run, well, she had to run in Olson's Mercantile last night. And Alea said, what's Mama getting? And I said, she got to get her card punched. She goes
I've
14.
not been in there today.
She goes 14 days in a row. She gets a free something at the end.
I need to say hi to my peeps.
That's right. Grayson County High School's HOSA, the Future Health Professionals chapter, won big at the State Leadership Conference recently. The FCCLA swept their competition at regionals over the weekend, or recently. You can see that at K105.com and their photos. Lady Cougar softball in action today, hosting the Lady Tigers, Sam?
Yeah, Breckenridge County comes in. It's our first time to see the softball team this year, so it'll be good to get out there and see them. And listen, in Grayson and Breck, it's a good little rivalry too. Depending on, it doesn't matter the sport. It's maybe not quite the Edmondson level, but it's still probably going to be very entertaining. So 5:30 is first pitch, so we'll probably begin about 5:15 this evening.
And new leadership at the softball program too?
Yeah, Coach Rack, Jeff Rack is the new softball head coach. They are 1-2 this year. trying to pick up a win before they open district play tomorrow in Morgantown.
You were workshopping the other day, the
Yeah, I think-
pregame interview. Did you land on something?
Maybe the rack report or something.
Something just came to mind, and I swear I gave this no thought since you mentioned it the other day, but it just flashed. What about rack facts?
Rack facts?
Rack facts, or the facts with rack, or something. It could
That's not bad.
Okay.
Now, to be clear, rack could have some subjective things that aren't necessarily facts. But if you want to go with the with the rhyming mechanism, you could do kind of rack facts, or the facts with rack, or I don't know. Just don't feel compelled to take it. Again, just flash through.
Might have to throw a couple on and see what sticks.
That'll be fine. You just workshop a few. Try one on for size. Walk it around the store. There's a full-length mirror right over there. See how it looks. If you don't like it, we'll get you another one. We'll give you a shoehorn. You can slide right into it. You'll be fine. And the Sweet 16 times 2, Boys Sweet 16 continues today in Lexington. And in about 15 minutes, you'll be able to hear that on 103.9 The Moose and 870 AM. And the WMTL app. Big upset yesterday, right? J-Town had a big upset yesterday. And so day 2 of the opening round is today. And then you get the NCAA Sweet 16 tonight. I think there are 4 games that will be up for, that we'll be playing tonight. We'll talk about those at the end of the show, just to let you know how your day is going to go sports-wise.
Yeah, go Cooper.
Yeah. They're today?
Yeah. Yep.
High school basketball.
They play Henderson County.
You got girls softball.
And Davis County plays tonight, too.
Davis County's tonight. And I'm just sorry that I've enjoyed listening to the Sweet 16 yesterday. I just wish the Cougars were in it,
They were close.
I wish on both our stations we were carrying the Sweet 16. The network on the WMTL and local coverage on K105.
Well, we would have been playing at 5 o'clock tonight.
Maybe next year. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. More on the way here on In the Know.
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County, because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
The mobile unit from Intensive Health brings trusted, high-quality addiction treatment right to your community. Serving 5 counties, including Grayson, our innovative services offer telehealth treatment, mental health counseling, medical health assessments, primary care, and general medical services. We also offer hepatitis C and HIV screenings and treatment. No more long travels for essential care. We are discreet and accessible. Visit intensivehealth.com to find out more. A StepWorks recovery service.
Today, successful small businesses are lean, portable, and focused. If you're running your own business, you need to stay in tune to your customers, vendors, and employees. That doesn't leave much time for processing payroll and reporting, much less the overall performance of your business. The firm of Buckles, Travis, and Hart has a full offering of services for small businesses. Payroll processing, tax liability, unemployment, and financial reporting, just to name a few. Think of them like a built-in business manager, but they don't get sick and they don't ask for time off. Call or contact today to help get your business focused across the board. Buckles, Travis, and Hart, 270-259-5604, GraysonCPAs.com.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start May 11th. Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, College for the Real World.
Generative AI jewelry maker Arcade is expanding to home goods. The company is introducing Match My Room, which allows users to upload a photo of their room. Then the program matches colors, styles, and patterns to design things like rugs, pillows, blankets, and other items. Apple's AirPods Max headphones will soon feature lossless audio and low latency audio when used with the included USB-C cable. Users will experience virtually no data loss, leaving all the original data with nearly no delay. Apple says AirPods Max will enable musicians to create, record, and mix music without losing audio quality. Waymo says it will launch robo-taxi services in Washington, D.C. in 2026. It might be a bit of a lobbying challenge, however, as D.C. still requires a human behind the wheel of autonomous vehicles. And Samsung Electronics co-CEO Han Jong-yi is dead at the age of 63. He had overseen the South Korean tech giant's consumer electronics and mobile devices business since 2022. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
Today is Joe Day. Just to celebrate guys named Joe. Joe Jonas, Joe Morgan,
Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe, G.I. Joe. I hadn't even planned on pulling out a bunch of Joe's names, but suddenly I felt inspired.
There you go.
I'm sure I'm missing some obvious ones. It's Scribble Day.
I do that every day.
It is Spanish Paella Day. It's Quirky Country Music Song Titles Day.
We're not playing it with anything like that.
We're not going to play them, but I am going to give you some titles that I kind of like that I think
Oh
are
my
worthy of sharing. I gave her the ring. She gave me the finger.
Maybe you needed it. Yeah.
There's,
Might need to workshop that one.
I wish I were a woman so I could go out with a guy like me.
Okay.
There is her teeth were stained, but her heart was pure.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, I think that was written about some women from Tennessee.
Oh.
You can't have your Kate and Edith too.
Oh,
That's pretty funny.
yeah, it's pretty solid. That's not too bad.
If my nose were full of nickels, I'd blow it all on you.
It's pretty gross.
I was, of all people, Congressman Brett Guthrie was sharing a story with me earlier this month. He's from Muscle Shoals, and he was talking about Sam Phillips, who, had the studio in Memphis where Elvis worked, but then he had a studio in Muscle Shoals. I think that's where he was from. And so he said a lot of talent came through his studio, and he would always kind of decide whether a person was going to be successful or not. And he said a young man came through Muscle Shoals into the studio. He listened to him play, and he said, I'm going to tell you this. To be successful in music, you either better be good or interesting. You're going to need to be interesting. And he was talking to Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, wow.
Who has written some, for a long time, Jimmy was kind of considered country. There was really no place for him but country. But he
Aren't we glad he busted out of that?
yes,
Right?
if the
Broke
he
those
kind
barriers.
of he's his own genre, But one of his favorite titles that he wrote was "If the Phone Doesn't Ring, It's Me." And I've always liked that title because usually when you say that to someone, they get, what does that mean? Like, I'm not calling you. That's what that means. If you've been watching the NCAA tournament, you've been seeing new messaging that you have not seen before, and it's because the landscape of college athletics has been shifting. We have seen it also evolving over the last few years, in particular with the University of Kentucky, and that's the accessibility of the players in ways that it's good and in ways it's terrible because it brings out the worst in people. But I have noticed there has been a specific campaign, just like in the Sweet 16 today. When you listen to coverage, you're going to hear a specific campaign of messages about not berating officials, because if we don't have officials, we're not going to have high school sports any longer. Because everyone's an expert and they just want to blame referees for everything.
I hear it a lot.
Yeah, you do. You hear it a lot, don't you? You can't escape it.
Oh,
because you're stationary. You can't even move your position.
no, and I mean,
go to the other side.
at home we're in the stands, but luckily there's nobody behind us. Really, we have the banister, but we'll be some places where we're smack dab in the middle of it all.
Yeah, it's terrible. Now because of people making poor decisions on betting on sports. Sports betting now has changed the landscape to where losing a bet is the motivation to then blaming an 18-year-old because they didn't make a free throw or they missed a shot at the buzzer or whatever it is. The people who the people who were telling you the dangers of sports betting to begin with are saying, well, we tried to tell you. But then on the other side, you go, well, that just doesn't give a license to everyone to act like a DA because they wagered something that they shouldn't, or they wagered an amount that they couldn't afford to lose, etc. And so as a result, R.J. Lewis Jr., who Coach Rick Pitino was trying very hard to defend in his post-game news conference, he didn't play well. He had been hot. He had been their leading scorer, and he just laid an egg in the game against Arkansas the other day. And as a result, the fans, and they're in New York, so if you think people are brutal online here out in the country where people are pretty nice, try doing it in New York City. And he has had to delete or at least deactivate his Instagram and other socials just because of the negative comments and the names being called. And why can't we do better? Sam, why do we do this?
I have no idea. Yeah, I got nothing there.
What is it? Well, I guess what's going to give? Is this just going to continue?
Yep.
Will there be? Will it get worse?
I have no idea.
I'm going to go with probably. I mean,
I hope that there has been we've been through some pendulum swings in our society over the years on things that it has taken us a while then to realize and recover from. I think online privacy is one that's going to be problematic. Sam, if we get disconnected from the codec unit in the rack, we'll just keep going for the sake of the video broadcast.
Okay.
Is that all right? Okay. Because we have an audience there that we got to look after too. It just doesn't make any sense to me how we've done some things. We have been irresponsible with cameras and phones and et cetera. And we've kind of learned those lessons and said, hey, wait a minute, we're doing this completely wrong. I hope that this is the end of the pendulum shift where we go, the people who have some sense can be loud enough to squelch the activities of the other people who are behaving poorly to teenagers. I mean, they're barely adults, if they are even adults at that point. And I don't like the way that happens.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's embarrassing.
I fear the way that many things, NIL then kind of sprinkled. The first time NIL was mentioned, we said, well, that would ever happen at high school? And we all kind of went, nah, that won't happen at high school. And then you started hearing about it, like in certain places. I fear that the behavior of people is then going to, like, well, if we beat up on college athletes and we give them the what for, well, then the next thing you know is like, well, who's next? And I fear that evolution going forward. The Rice Krispie Treats is releasing the first ever salty snack. They are doing the Rice Krispie Treats Bliss. It's caramel sea salt pretzel and a chocolate sea salt pretzel. So they'll be coming to stores for you if you want to give that a try.
I am on board with that.
Dogs are barking. A dog is barking. You've probably seen this online. It was a flight from Paris to Newark, and an airline passenger who was traveling there took to social media to share a story about a not so peaceful flight. There was a lady on the flight that had a carrier that was way too small for her dog, and she folded the dog into the carrier, and the dog barked the entire 8-hour flight because the dog was in pain and disrupted the entire flight. And the flight attendants weren't sure what to do in that case. Do you let the dog out of the carrier? Well, one, you should. That's the humane thing to do. But then it's a violation of the policy of the. And I would use this as an example to say that this is an indictment, or at least it is a confirmation that there are too many animals on flights to begin with. Like, pets are pets. I love our pet, but she's a pet. right? She's not a child. She's not a human. She's not a
I don't know.
She
She
is not
probably
a service animal.
she's not a service animal. She is a luxury to have. She's a member of,
And she lives like
and absolutely. But we're not going to insist on disrupting your life just because of our desire to want to take our animal somewhere.
I am so furious at the person who did that to the dog.
Yeah.
I mean, the flight situation, that's bad. The barking dog, no one wants to hear that. But the person that did that to this dog, I'd like to get them by their shoulders and just shake the snot out of them.
Yeah, be nice. All right, we've got to get a break. We'll take a break and check the status of everything here. Sam, we can probably let music roll during the break until we get some confirmation what's going on. We'll come back and we'll have today's Did You Know still to come in the show. Point to Ponder, Pearl of Wisdom, Chart Toppers, and more ahead here on In the Know. Did you know Pinocchio is Italian for pine eye? Because Pinocchio's made of wood. Is that why?
You know, there's something about that that feels familiar.
Something else in the literature, which reminds me, are you going to be learning Italian? You said at one point in time you were going to.
I was going to.
But you've ruled that out now?
I don't rule anything out or in.
This is the time of year when...
Very non-committal.
This is the time of year when universities, colleges start planning commencement service. I guess high schools, too, are figuring out commencement ceremonies. And oftentimes, if at the collegiate level, they find a keynote speaker, someone who can inspire the generation, the graduating class, and send them out into the world, taking the world by storm. And the University of Maryland, home of the the Crab Five. The Crab Five instead of the
Yeah,
Fab Five?
Crab Walk 5 or something like that. Yeah.
Crab Walk 5. The University of Maryland will be hosting as their commencement speaker Kermit the Frog. Hi ho, Kermit the Frog here.
Huh.
I think that'd be okay. Now, how do they do that? Are they going to
That's
ruin
what
the
I'm-
illusion?
That's what I'm curious about.
How do they stage this? I
This
guess I
is
would be wondering.
strange.
Unless it's like
Well-
a recording or something.
I guess it could be that, although that seems inauthentic, unauthentic. Yeah, disingenuine. I think that would be. Instead of the traditional podium, they may do some type of set piece where he's able to be back in his creature comforts and on his big lily pad back there where Kermit is comfortable. I suppose. Could
Is
be.
Miss Piggy coming then too?
Oh no, she is at Vassar. She's giving the keynote address at Vassar. Scooby-Doo, the live action. If you know anything about Vassar, you know why that is. Scooby-Doo live action series at Netflix will be coming with 8 episodes. This will be interesting casting. See how they can actually nail this. It is clear that Casey Kasem will not be available to play Shaggy, so the voice is going to be different.
Well, I mean,
for sure.
Matthew Lillard did it in the live action about 20 years ago.
They did do that, didn't they?
It was good.
Okay, we'll see it. We'll see it come back.
Let's see how that goes.
Like zoinks. Passion of the Christ. Mel Gibson is beginning filming a sequel this summer. I've read the book, so I know how it turns out. But does not mean that I won't be interested. It is the movie. The Passion of the Christ is a movie that I try to bring myself to watch, but cannot do it. It is, because that's my thing. I watch movies certain times of the year that correlate to certain holidays, but The Passion of the Christ is one that is so gut-wrenchingly sobering that it's just like I can't subject myself to it. Yeah, but if you're a Christian, if you've never seen it, you deserve to see it because you'll have a different appreciation for really what was done for you, and you'll be forever changed because it gives there's a vividness to it that you do not have just reading scripture. And it's pretty accurate as well. So I guess they'll film it in the summer. My guess it comes out Easter or Easter-ish next year because we're clearly beyond resurrection in the original. So this will be about the days after, probably. Not probably, certainly. A 2-part Billy Joel documentary called Joel and So It Goes is coming to HBO. This is right up my alley. I'll be looking forward to that. I don't know. He had to postpone about 5 months worth of shows. I don't know how that impacts the release of this documentary or what. Lady Gaga has added a bunch of dates to her Mayhem tour, the Mayhem Ball. Las Vegas is where she's going to open July 16th and 18th at T-Mobile Arena. We saw her at the MGM Park Resort, down there.
Something like that, yeah.
Nice facility. And we laughed a couple of weeks ago on how many people, they finally decided how many people watched Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. We said they must have gone door to door to try and figure that out. Apparently, Kendrick Lamar's halftime show drew 125 complaints to the FCC about the show, which then led me wondering, okay, how many of these were legitimate complaints? How many were, just because they didn't like it?
That's
Was
it.
that the majority of them?
That's
Like,
it.
What are you doing? Or
People,
how many of them were Drake fans?
maybe.
Yeah, see. That guy's dissing on Drake. He shouldn't be investigating. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Point to Ponder, Pearl of Wisdom, Chart Toppers. Coming up, you're on In the Know.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-648-9174. 800-648-9174. That's 800-648-9174.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
Call 800-989-1647. 800-989-1647. That's 800-989-1647.
In the animated film The Incredibles, renowned superhero Mr. Incredible foils an attack by supervillain Bomb Voyage. In the process, Mr. Incredible accidentally injures the very civilians he's rescuing, who later sue him for it. Soon, other lawsuits against other superheroes pop up. Before long, the whole country becomes so negative that the government forms the Superhero Relocation Program. They essentially ban all superpowers, which forces the entire superhero community into hiding. Think about this. How sideways would a culture's thinking have to get to decide that superheroes were bad for them instead of good? Sounds crazy, doesn't it? I believe our society is already that sideways. We live in an age that pushes the most heroic aspects of our culture into the shadows because they don't align with contemporary viewpoints. Faith, marriage, and the sacredness of humanity are routinely trivialized and deemed irrelevant. Our nation will only ever be as strong as our marriages and our families. For good or for bad, every household ripples outward, impacting our neighborhoods, our cities, and ultimately our country. Rather than pushing our greatest values out of society, we ought to anchor ourselves in them. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
This town ain't big, this town ain't small. It's a little of both, they say. Our ball club may be minor league, but at least it's triple A.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. If ketchup didn't exist, what would you use instead on what food? So think of all the things that you use ketchup on. Pretend ketchup didn't exist and you had to put something on it. What would you choose?
I mean, really the only thing I put ketchup on is like a burger and a hot dog, and I usually will throw some mustard on there too, so I would just eat mustard.
Yeah, I'm fine with mustard as well. But considering all the foods...
But I don't know what else I would put ketchup on that... Because I don't even typically dip my fries in ketchup.
You don't put ketchup on your fries? I don't even mean dip it. You don't like squirt it on there and...
No, I'm not a heathen.
What about tater tots?
Ranch would still work.
That's true, it would.
Buffalo sauce or something, but no, I'm usually just if they're good enough, you don't even need to.
I agree.
That's true.
Especially if they're fresh.
I don't do ketchup on McDonald's fries.
Nope.
But good crinkle fries, like and then salt on there, get a little salt in the ketchup, and you go num.
Yeah,
pretty good.
He and Alea like a lot of ketchup. I'm not. If I'm using ketchup, I like to mix it with.
I'm so glad you mentioned this because I was going to bring it
mayo
up.
and mustard. I do all three.
Okay, so you beat me there. It's exactly where I was headed, and I was going to ask, will you concede that while it might taste okay, it looks awful.
I don't care if it looks awful or not. You're not eating it.
I know.
That wasn't pointing at you, but like, I've been doing this for years, since I worked at the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
So I've had many people look over it and look at it and go, bleh. I'm well aware of what it looks like. Okay.
It is odd to see it happen and watch.
Yes.
And like,
but it is so good. There is a fast food chain that does it, and that's where I got it from. Listen, but I'm not a big fry eater, so I have to cover my fries up.
I approached this a couple of different ways. I said, okay, if I had to pick one substitute for ketchup, like I couldn't change it depending upon the food. That's why I wouldn't go with buffalo sauce, because I thought, well, buffalo sauce. There are things I don't want buffalo sauce on for sure that I use ketchup on.
Like what?
Eggs. I wouldn't want buffalo sauce on eggs.
You just opened up a can of worms there. Okay.
I'm fine with ketchup and eggs. I don't usually do that, but no.
Okay.
And I don't always do it on eggs. It's especially like hotel buffet eggs require ketchup because they don't taste very egg-like. I think they're egg substitute. There's something about
They're a little dry.
They need something. They need some help.
They're powdered. They're powdered eggs.
But then I thought, well, maybe barbecue sauce, but probably there's ketchup in barbecue sauce. But they didn't say that, so I said, okay, what are some things I wouldn't want barbecue on? Well, eggs, back to eggs again. Probably not barbecue sauce on my hash browns, but I landed at ranch. I thought if I have to pick one, then I'm gonna go ranch.
It's universal.
Yeah, I think so. On TV tonight, Farmer Wants a Wife is on Fox. Grey's Anatomy is on ABC. But the NCAA tournament, the regional semifinals, BYU and Alabama, Maryland and Florida, Arizona and Duke, Arkansas versus Texas Tech. You going to make any picks? We're going to take Alabama? That's who I took on the bracket. I guess I've got Alabama, Florida. I think I have Duke getting beaten the next round.
I don't know what I just need Duke to do something. Like,
I'm
losing so badly that
I don't like that you just said that. Ugh. We need
that's
Duke
what
to
I
do
need.
something. Ugh.
I like to win.
I need Duke to do something. I need Duke to lose.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Today's highlight in history, and softball about 5:15.
Yeah, probably about 5:15. We'll have the rack report or whatever it'll be.
Subscribe to that YouTube channel, and that way you'll get.
Yeah, there's already a link up there that you'll be able to see the actual stream. You could theoretically hop in there right now and leave it up on your TV all day. When it starts, it'll jump in there and fire us up.
Today's highlight in history, unfortunately, is either a sad commentary on our world, or it is a blessing that nothing major has happened on March the 27th. But the highlight in history, according to the Associated Press, this day 3 years ago, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock on stage at the 94th Academy Awards ceremony.
Well,
okay.
I don't know what that says, but it says something. Birthdays today. Quentin Tarantino is 62. Mariah Carey is 56. Polly Perrette is 56. Nathan Fillion is 54. Fergie is 50. I'm 50. Buster Posey is 38. Jessie J, 37. Halle Bailey, Little Mermaid, is 25 today.
Okay.
Gone but not forgotten, Cale Yarborough, the Daytona 500 winner, was born this date in 1939. So as yesterday was a huge day for birthdays and gone but not forgottens, today a relatively small day. Let's go to your chart toppers. Let's go all the way back to 1944. I believe this is Poinciana from Bing Crosby. Song of the Tree. Sing, Bing. I'm dreaming of a tropic wind. Okay, that's about enough of that. I love you, Bing, but it's been a tough enough show. I don't need any help.
Pretend you're happy when you're blue.
Maybe I'll do that. Nat King Cole.
It isn't very hard to do.
Is that nursery rhyme saying Nat King Cole was a merry old soul and a merry old soul was he? Or I think that might have been Old King Cole.
Old King Cole, yeah.
It doesn't mean it's not true for Nat King Cole. That's just not the way that we learned it.
True.
Let's go to 1962. Patsy Cline.
I've got your picture that you gave to me, and it's signed with love, just like it used to be.
All right, I got to save room for it because there's a couple that we really need to get to. 1971. The live version. Let's get it.
I know this is the like.
You gonna bust out the Tina
I'm
dance?
telling you, that dress just. Yeah, if my car is ever parked somewhere and the song is on because I'm waiting to get out because
get it.
Listen, I am. Woo.
Let's go to 1980. I have always loved this song. The Spinners. I don't know. It just makes me feel good. Like, he's got a great beat. They're dancing. Their choreography is good. I've been working my way back to you. 1989. Milli Vanilli, or what we thought was Milli Vanilli, sang "Girl, You Know It's True." Went to #1 with "Girl, You Know It's True" because Robin Fab didn't sing it. Will Smith getting jiggy with it in 98. The Sweet Escape, Gwen Stefani in 07, and Rihanna, Work in 2016. 9 years ago today already.
Goodness.
All right, MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, be true to your work, your word, and your friend. Be true to your work, your word, and your friend. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes Best Mix is WKHG Litchfield. The Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105.